What is up, people? It's your boy, Femi Daniel, again. And today, I have an interview, a podcast episode with one of my, colleagues in the real estate industry.
I need to know everything, who and the what and the where, I need everything. Trust me, I hear what you're saying, but act like it's new what you're telling me. I'm curious, George, I happen to...
I feel like it's in my DNA to just take risks. Nothing against not taking risks, but it's just like, if you want to live a life of your dreams, you got to take some risks, yeah.
One body, that's just how it go. I got some secrets, I'm shaking the game so they stay.
Welcome, guys, to another episode of Femi Daniel Show. On this show, I think I've been bringing a lot of real estate people back to back, but this one was necessary. I'm kicking it with my guy, Jamison. Been following him on Instagram for a while now, and needless to say, he's been killing it. So I'll let you just introduce yourself a little bit, tell people about, what yourself, what you do, where you grew up, all that. Before we kick it.
Cool, guys. My name is Jamison Williams. I'm from Akron, Ohio. I'm in real estate as well, like Femi.
Yeah.
I do fix and flips, buy and hold, and then I own a couple Keegley franchises as well. So just a little bit about me. Yeah.
Nice. So you grew up in Akron?
Yep.
Like born, raised, all that?
Yeah, I was born and raised in Akron. Moved around a little bit. Okay. But Akron's where the roots are at.
Nice. So, what even brought you into real estate?
The freedom, man. The freedom. I was scrolling on Instagram one day and I saw somebody make a check of 14, 15,000. And I'm just like, man, I got to figure out how you did that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
You didn't think it was fake at first or something?
I didn't think it was fake. I just, had to do my own research. Had to see if it was legit. And it turns out it was. And, I'm here now. So.
Nice. So, look, we'll go back through the whole past and everything, but looking back at that time, what were you really doing when you found out about real estate? Yeah, man,
it was during the pandemic. So I graduated college at the beginning of the pandemic, graduated with a degree in finance and computer information systems.
Okay.
And then, I really could have went corporate, but I was, pandemic, nothing was normal. So I figured I'd just take a risk.
Right.
And, the risk give rewards if you make it make sense. So yeah.
Yeah. So were you rest of us? I don't know if for you too, but a lot of people start kind of on YouTube, the rabbit hole of YouTube, and go through that before they get into different mentorships or anything. Was that kind of the same thing for you?
I was on YouTube a little bit, and then I ended up buying into asset flipping and sub too.
You bought both at once?
No. I bought asset flipping first.
Okay.
Had that for a couple months. Used that to parlay into a franchise, and then I ended up buying sub too. Yeah.
Nice. I want to definitely get into that the franchise thing a little bit more, because I considered it at some point, but I didn't really know much about it.
Yeah.
I heard it from Jeff. So he was telling me a little bit more about it, but I didn't really know much about it. So you got into wholesaling now, 2 years ago?
Yeah, about 2 years ago.
So between the time you started and your first deal, what was that time period like?
It was probably 5 weeks.
5 weeks?
Yeah.
This guy going crazy. What? 5 weeks? How?
5 weeks.
I want to know the story, because for me, it took me a little bit.
Yeah.
It took me a while before I could get my first deal. At least the deal that I could call my own. I was helping out my friend at that point and helping them, sell their deals. So I guess that could count, but I never really saw it as my own deal.
Yeah.
I didn't start from beginning to the end with it.
Yeah.
So what was the story behind that first deal?
Yeah, man. So I was just calling old lists. Like I told you earlier, I got my first deal in Canton, Ohio. So I was just calling old lists. And a guy, he had a house that, his dad lived in. He passed away for about 5 years now, and he was just ready to get it done. So we had to go through the whole process of connecting with the mortgage company for him, speaking on his behalf, seeing if there was anything owed. He thought there was 30,000 owed, but ended up being 0 owed. And he said he only wanted to walk away with $3 grand.
What?
He said he only wanted to walk away with $3 grand. So that was cool. And then, I ended up selling it on Facebook Marketplace, getting some buyers. I didn't have any buyers at that time. So I just hopped on Facebook Marketplace, threw it on there. got about, 5 or 6 guys that came to the showing. It was about, probably about 3 or 4 of the guys weren't legitimate. It was two guys that were.
Okay.
And, ended up selling it. Made about 17,000.
17,000 first check.
Yeah.
Well, what did that even feel like, man?
Man, it felt great, man. Just proof of concept. I mean, I already knew it was real. When you see, so many people on YouTube saying that they did it, you just like, it's only a matter of time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got to put in the work. You're going to have trial and errors, failures. Just about if you're going to stay consistent, if you really want to see that change in your life.
So what made you pick astro flipping first?
I wanted to really find out about this position.
Okay.
About being able to sell your deals, and not really having to spend any marketing budget. Because today I still spend $0 on marketing, and I make all my deals.
I know my inbox gets blown up. I see like you sending a bunch of deals. You have zero marketing dollars.
Yeah, $0 on marketing spend.
How does that work? I guess that's from the Keegley franchise that you put. Like, how did that even come about?
What, buying the franchise?
Buying the franchise.
Well, it came about, man, because like I did a couple big deals. I think I made one deal. I made like 90. Another deal, 50. Because I just started accumulating a bunch of cash, and I didn't really know what to do with it. But I did know that later on in life that I want to open up other businesses.
Right.
So I figured the best way for me to get that start was to buy a franchise early, and then be able to see how like a real Fortune 500 company operates, or a company that's scaling to get there. So I've been able to see that, and I've been taking those notes so that I can implement it into my own things that I build outside of real estate.
I don't know if it's just hitting me now, but we're not gonna just ski past that. Like, you just say you made a couple checks of like 90,000, 50,000. Like, it just hit me like, wait.
Yeah.
90,000. What was the story behind the 90,000 check?
Man, it was one of those God sins. How AB do, call God. It was a deal actually not too far from here,
Oh, wow.
But, I was sending out texts. Like, this is when I was doing text blast at this point. So I was spending a little money on marketing. But I was doing text blast. I sent out a ton. Then randomly one day, you know how like if you do text blast, you might just get a text randomly one day. Like a guy texted me randomly like one day, like, yeah, I'll be at the property at 10:30 tomorrow. Meet me there. Okay. So I met him at the property. I get to the property. Like I said, it's around here. So it's in that 44113 Tremont area. Yeah. And he was like, yeah, man, pandemic's been killing me. I'm done with it. It's been vacant 9 months. I'm just ready to get out. Tired landlord, he's ready to get out. That's the great thing about wholesaling. You find solutions for people and you make money for it. So, his number was, what was it? His number was like 130. ARV is probably like 300, right? Out here in Tremont, but it was one of those houses where you do an add-on play. You could get 400, 500 for it because it was all around new builds. I came in, we negotiated, that his price was a good price, but one thing that you need to know in wholesaling is that like you like if you come in just automatically say yes, they're gonna wonder why it was so easy, right?
Yeah.
Wonder why it was so easy. And so I negotiated with him, started a little bit lower, try to get him lower. And he was budgeting. He said 128 was his bottom line. And I was like, okay, we could do it. Had to walk away for a second, say I'm going to the car, talk to my partner, you know what I'm saying? Not talking to nobody. And then, ended up finding a buyer at like 210. It was 210 or 220. Can't remember the exact number, but
I can't even imagine. I had a play very close to around the Tremont areas on the west side too. That was actually going to be like my first deal.
Yeah.
Same situation. But what fucked me up was it started to feel like he didn't feel like we were credible enough.
Yeah.
He wanted proof of funds, all of that. And I was just starting out then. I was trying to run around and get him all of that.
Yeah.
But it would have been a very good deal because it was a house it had 2 houses on one lot.
Yeah.
So he wanted to just be done with it. He was almost done with the work, but he was just tired of the property.
Yeah.
But that one fell out of my hand. That would have been a good check. I think I was going to make like $40K spread on it, but
it happens, man. Yeah. I've had deals where I was going to make a lot as well. So, and I didn't make anything, you know what I'm saying? So, it's just all about the process. You know, some deals gonna work, some deals gonna be great. You're gonna get them done. Some deals you might not be able to get to the finish line on.
Right.
But it's just about always having that pipeline full, so you know you don't get too caught up on one deal.
Correct.
Yeah.
Man, so you did 90K by marketing on yourself. What made you be like, you know what, instead, I just want to do disposition only? Because I mean, marketing was obviously working.
Yeah. One of the things was that, well, it's not that like I'm not doing acquisitions. You know, I do a lot of my stuff. You know, realtor to realtor.
Okay.
You know, wholesaler to wholesaler. You know, and that was one of the reasons why I wanted to buy the franchise, for the brand recognition. You know, so many wholesalers bring me deals now. Now it's just like I don't have to spend, because they're gonna bring me the deal. We're gonna JV it. You know what I'm saying? Nice. So they're spending the marketing dollars and
on advertising,
on the advertising, on you know, they're spending like their marketing dollars on like finding deals, you know, all that. And you know, my team, you know, I train them to just, you know, call agents, find deals that way, connect to wholesalers, and that's how we're getting deals our way.
Man, that's actually awesome, because that's something I was trying to do. Of course, without the Keegley franchise, because what I noticed was I didn't like talking to sellers. The whole cold calling thing, it wasn't just my speed. So I preferred working with buyers instead. But what I kind of pivoted into now is kind of like deal sourcing. So it's kind of disposition, but flipped on its head, to where I'm finding the buyers first and I'm asking them what they're looking for. And I just go hunt down those deals, and they just pay me like a marketing fee or whatever. We negotiate something on it. So that's kind of what I'm doing now. So like, how does the whole Keegley thing work? Because I'm sure there are other like franchisees under the Keegley, but I mostly see them post more about like you. Like, how did you climb your way up there?
Man, it's really just grinding, man. And wanting to be, you know, going to events, you know, wanting to be the face. I'm not saying I'm the face, but I'm trying to get there, man, because I realized the long-term play, that is, if the guys are seeing me on the front end, they're thinking about me first, and I want to be the first guy that comes to mind when it comes to franchises. So I know if I'm first guy to come to mind, I'm first got to get that deal. For sure. You know what I'm saying? So, and you know, it starts with like me coming up in Astro flipping, and then getting a Keegley franchise, because I mean, I'm not sure if there's anybody else that's done it. Maybe one other person, but nobody that's my age. You know, when I bought in to the franchise, I was the youngest person to do it. Wow. So it's just like, you know, me just wanting to be the face in the front for it. And then also, you know, I'm Astro flipping. I'm doing calls every week too. So it's like, I'm really involved in the community. You know, you give that output, you know, it's going to come back to you.
That makes sense. But how much is it to like buy into the franchise? Are there like steps or the requirements that you have to hit before you're accepted to buy a franchise? How much is the buy-in?
Yeah, so it's a bit of a process. You know, you got to be approved. You know, because I was in the Astro flipping. You know, I chatted with Jamil. You know, everybody's not for it, but you know, I chatted with Jamil, and it seemed like it made sense for me. So I have 2 right now. The first one that I got out here in Northeast Ohio, Cleveland area. And that was 100 to buy in. And then my second one that I bought is in Las Vegas, and I that was more of a business acquisition. You know, somebody that didn't really want to have a franchise anymore. They wanted to sell, so I paid a bit of a premium, so that was like 150. Yeah. So
they already had like some things already. They're already moving and shaking grounds already.
Not necessarily. It was just the market, man. Because like you know, there's one for every 500,000 people, so. You know, you can have 5 in a market. And so Vegas is the first market to sell out. So it sold out quick because Vegas is extremely hot. But that guy, he wasn't really doing much. So like, he had his data in there, not much data, but you know, still, if you have data in there, you got to revamp it anyway with new contacts and like a new point of contact. So we bought his franchise. And yeah, we've been doing well so far.
Definitely. What is doing well? You mind going into detail? What is doing well? I mean, like what is like the revenue typically per month?
Yeah, I mean, so next week we'll probably make just next week alone, we'll probably make like 80,000.
Wow.
Yeah, but you know, it fluctuates. You know, sometimes you know, sometimes we can have a crazy week. Sometimes we maybe a little bit less. Yeah.
But in a typical month, what are you typically expecting back on your
on like revenue?
Yeah,
like typical month, like. We're probably like around that, you know, give or take over that 100, below that 100 mark. But we're still growing, you know. You know,
That with both franchise or just one of them?
that's with both franchises right now. Yes, I mean sometimes they're a bit higher, sometimes maybe a little bit lower, but usually around that mark. Yeah.
That makes sense, man. 100K buy-in, making almost 100. I mean, you make your money back typically by like month 2-ish.
Yeah, well, like,
three-ish.
you know, it's a process. You know, you gotta not necessarily say you're gonna, you know, make that really immediately off the bat. You know, you gotta grow, you gotta get there, you gotta make those leads, you gotta make those connections. But it's possible.
And like they for sure have like a support system around you as far as like buyers wise or.
Oh yeah, so I mean, I'm not sure like how much I can really dig into all that.
Right.
But you know, it's you know, we do have a tech team that you know, that supports us. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you know, we're getting leads from you know, corporate that are inputting leads into our system. So yeah.
So like now I want to go into like the whole expansion. Like how has that been on you? Because it's only been like 2 years so far. To go from, you know, doing this as your own thing, doing it by yourself, to going to like a full on business owner now.
Yeah.
Sure, you have employees under you. Like, how do you go about like picking the employees that are working with you, or like your team that is working with you? And like, how has that transition been from like coming out of college, not sure if I want to get a job or not, to like now doing damn near almost 6 figures every month?
Yeah. So I mean, it's been an adjustment, man. You know, not having any experience hiring people, you will have turnover. But it's just about being able to keep the business afloat when you do have turnover. Really getting in, you know, at the start of it, you know, and I still work a ton. And I'm, you know, trying to slowly work my way out, but, it's been a challenge, but, you know, hiring people is something that, you know, one, you know, hosting meetups, you know, doing different things like that to get people to come to your environment, and then just understanding, you know, how you want to go about running your business, whether that's paying in a sales position. Cause I mean, if you're not producing, then, you know, you're just funding that out of pocket. So it's just like, just trying to figure out those different hiccups, and learning how, like you said, to run a business coming out of college. And that was the main reason why I wanted to do it so early, is cause, you know, I got lots of ideas, you know, visionary, tons of ideas of businesses to start. Right. But, you know, you got to start somewhere. And I figured I'd start while I'm a bit younger to, really understand how to operate a business at a high level. So
that makes sense. Well, that makes sense. So you're scaling and how has that been for like friends and family back in Akron to like see you now? Is there a disconnect now?
Nah, like for me, there's never been a disconnect. Like all my friends just know this is just who I am. I've always taken risk. There's a ton of people that want to connect with me. And I always want to help people as well. Connect and, help them, you know, get to the next level, because anybody can wholesale. Like, I don't have any like a limiting belief of like, if you help somebody or you try to get all these people into it, there might not be enough for me. There's enough for everybody. So yeah.
Man. So do any of your friends currently like work with you in your company, or you kind of keep those two separate?
So I don't have any of my friends that work with me. Would I? Maybe like in the future when I build my stuff up. Right. I just wouldn't want to like ruin a relationship, you know, while you're trying to scale a company, because it takes after hour work.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So real estate, I'm guessing, because you're young. For me too, real estate is just a stepping stone to like a lot of things. I know you briefly touched on being a visionary yourself. Yeah. What are like other businesses or like endeavors that you plan on going into in the future? Like what else excites you outside of real estate?
You know, like coming out of college, you know, I had some fintech ideas that I still want to start. You know, I really wanted to start out of college, but I wasn't able to, you know, secure the capital. Didn't really necessarily understand how to raise private capital. But you know, now, you know, you get it now, right? So those are things that I want to start. And there's a ton of businesses, you know, I want to have lots of businesses, but not necessarily be in the forefront. So it's important to, you know, connect with integrators, to, you know, operate and you be on the forefront. And that's kind of, you know, where I'm at, you know. I do have a partner for my franchises now. And, you know, that's our goal is just scale them up, you know, buy more. And like one of my goals and my focuses in our business is to be in the forefront, you know, people hop on these calls, you know, feed the leads to our businesses so that, you know, the guys will keep, you know, doing it and coming to us to do business. Yeah.
Nice. So fintech, man, that's completely different, man.
Yeah.
So what is that from that? I guess that's stemming from your financial background in school.
Yeah.
Wanting to do something like that. If real estate didn't pan out, what do you think you'll be doing?
I would probably be somewhere in tech.
Somewhere in tech?
Yeah.
Like programming and stuff, or?
So I do know some code.
Okay.
But not necessarily programming. Maybe like cybersecurity.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Would you consider yourself like introverted or extroverted?
Man, I would say a little bit of both. I mean, like I definitely am always talking to people now, but you know, I do like to be like alone and just be chilling. You know what I'm saying?
Because I'm like, I barely see you out here in Cleveland.
Yeah, I never go out.
Except if it's like business related stuff or you're on a meetup or something.
Yeah.
Other than that, I barely see you out there or anything like that. Like, is there a reason to? Do you feel like it's customer business or you just always been like that? Like, you know, just kept to yourself?
Man, I would just say it's like, man, I'm so focused on my goals that like, I don't want to even waste any time. Like, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do anything. Like, I try to be really frugal with everything that that I got. And it's, I mean, you know, like I used to drink in the past, you know, but, you know, I said I wasn't going to drink until, you know, I hit some certain numbers that I got in my mind. So once I hit those numbers again, then, you know, we can pop open the Ace of Spades.
Hey, that's nice. I think I should do that too. I don't know. I got some very, 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 for me, I see it as a relaxation though.
Yeah.
I'm definitely trying to stop drinking. That one, I'm promising my audience, I'm definitely trying to stop drinking because I haven't for a while. Yesterday I did, but I haven't for a while. But every time I notice myself not drink for like a couple period of time, like I see the focus that comes with it.
Yeah.
Because people think, okay, outside of the hangover, it does take a couple while for your brain to get back to that 100%. To where it's performing at full speed again. So that's something I think maybe I'll take one from your book and, you know, set some number goals. And if I do hit those numbers, then we'll go pop out and drink. But if not, then there's really no reason to it.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Cleveland though? Do you feel Cleveland kind of like helps you out with you being inside? Is there any other state that you've looked at that you want to?
I like Arizona a lot, but I don't think it's a city at all. I just think it's like my personality is like, like, I don't necessarily like going out all the time because it's like, once you're going out a bunch of times, it's really the same thing. You're just staying up late. And, you know, once you realize that like, hey, if I can not stay up late, I can get up in the morning and grind, like, it's going to accumulate.
Right.
So it's just like time over time after time after time, you know, somebody going out every single night, not every single night. No, some people go out every single night, but not most, but like, you know, going out on those weekends, you know, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you know, and I'm staying in the crib, you know, I'm getting up at, you know, 6, 5, whatever, you know, that's going to accumulate over a year. And, you know,
those are extra time that people are wasting, but you're putting it back into your business. So it's like you have way more days than people typically have in a whole year. That makes sense. But when do you see yourself like retiring? Because I mean, people do the whole financial, you know, freedom thing as a means to like, you can, you know, one day retire. Do you see yourself stopping?
I mean, I don't really see myself stopping, but like I see myself slowing down. Like I want to probably retire like 35.
35?
Yeah, 35. But like, I don't know. I can never see myself just not doing anything. I gotta like maybe like retire from, you know,
active,
like doing like active day to day. But then I know myself, I would probably gotta create something to just get me going, just to feed the mind. You know, once you slow down the mind, you know, you're killing yourself, right?
Yeah,
in a sense.
What is one thing that people don't what is one thing that you're into that people don't know off the rip? Like, what's one thing people don't know off the rip about you?
Read a ton. So yeah.
You're a reader?
Yeah.
I'm more of an audiobook guy.
Yeah.
Once I pick up a book, I almost want to fall asleep.
No, I do. So I had an audiobook playing, and I had a book, the hard copy, and I just go through it. So I'm listening to it and reading at the same time with a highlighter.
I've heard that. I think it was Jeff that did mention that to me. Does it like help you read faster?
Helps you read faster and helps you comprehend more. You're seeing it and you're hearing it.
Ooh.
So I mean, you can finish books a lot faster like that.
Yeah, because me, most of the time I just plug it in when I'm at the gym. Most of the time, because I have nothing else to concentrate on.
I do that too.
I'm actually lifting, so it helps me just tune into to whatever I'm listening to and just get what's the most like. I don't know. To me, it's cliche. Everybody, what's the book that impacted you the most? Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I'm tired of hearing that shit, to be honest. But if it is, it is. But like, what's the most impactful book that you've read?
I would say it's a book called Your Invisible Power. And it talks about the power of the mind and how, your thoughts really become reality, as like people say, but like your thoughts become reality. And it's like, you can really do anything anything possible. It's like, who would have thought like, the Wright brothers could create planes to fly? That material was around 100 years before they even did it. But people just didn't have that. They didn't have that conscious thought to even think something like that.
It's possible.
Yeah. So
I haven't heard that one.
Check it out.
Before. What would you like if you could break down, Matt? Because different people have different ways that they explain like manifestation and law of attraction and everything. I know it works for me. I still believe in God, Mom. So
yeah, me too.
Don't hit me up on some. It's not. But some people see it. People, especially the religious people, see it as like some mojo thing. But it's like it's not mojo. It's just facts. Like the law of attraction is actually real.
Yeah.
And I've never done a great job of like explaining it to people, like manifestation and the law of attraction. So
yeah,
how would you explain it to people?
One of the things that I would say is just like, one, your thoughts become reality and your words become reality as well. So it's just like, I know sometimes you can have those negative thoughts, changing those immediately, thinking about the things that you say, like your words affirm whatever you want in life.
What?
Yeah, it's crazy. Like your words affirm everything you want in life. And just overall, just like staying consistent. I know that like consistency is like probably the hardest thing, but like it's like a buzzword nowadays. But like staying consistent, it's like, one, if you want something, like affirm that every single day. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe you want to go, I don't know, maybe you want a new car, or maybe you want to make a certain amount. Just affirming those things every single day. Speaking over those things over your life every single day, praying on it, meditating. Because the things that you pray on, you meditate on, those things are, when it's at the top of mind, it's something that you're going to attract. So, always keeping those things that you want at the top of mind, rather than like, switching up those thoughts and maybe not letting, maybe like not necessarily believing that you can do it, like actually believing and knowing that it's possible. Because I mean, it all is. And that's, definitely what that book talks about as well. And just like some of the things that you want, just keeping those to yourself and until it happens, rather than, necessarily speaking on it to others.
You see, that I like that you touched on that. I actually had a few other questions that I'll have to just segue around. But how do you, because that part, my mom has always said that to me. I've always believed it to some extent in my head of like, keeping whatever you plan on doing. But how do you then spread the word without necessarily like telling people till it comes out? Because I mean, even in business, sometimes you have to do some pre-launch strategies. Sometimes you need to get the word out there so that people that can help you can come into your life. But like, how do you separate that from actually just also applying that to whatever vision you have?
Yeah. So like, give some examples.
So let's say I'm trying to start up a new business or something. I have a couple cool ideas for it, and I want to apply that of, keep it quiet until it's out there and, then tell people about it. But then also in the same breath, I know it's important to do pre-launch. I know it's important to like speak to certain individuals. Like if I know that you can impact me in some way in that business and set up, I want to be able to hit you up and be like, yo, bro, this the vision, this is what I'm trying to come up with.
Yeah.
What you think about it.
I don't see anything that's wrong with it. That's just like getting consulting.
Okay.
Yeah.
But like, is that gonna take away though from like keeping it quiet till it's actually like?
Well, not necessarily. I mean, one, that's just so that like people with small minds don't try to kill the vision. If you're going to somebody that's already in that field and are doing it, they know that it's possible, so that then they can give you the game. But like, I think that's more so just like, people always like to try to kill dreams that they themselves isn't possible for them because they don't have the wherewithal to do it.
I like that. And the other thing that I wanted to touch on was the negativity. Like everybody, as much as everybody really yells about having a positive mind and everything. Yeah. Negative you can't have positivity without like negativity too. So like how do you get out of that mindset quick for you? Like using your own example, whatever situation in your life, like once the negative thought starts to come up, how do you snap yourself out of it? Because sometimes it's hard. Yeah. I'm not even gonna lie. Sometimes the negative, you don't want it to come up, but it just comes up and it's eating away on your soul. Like how do you snap out of it? Like,
I think with everything, I mean, in business, I mean, you got hurdles you got to overcome all the time. And it's just like, sometimes, it'll just come to your mind and just be like, man, I don't know how I'm going to do this. But then you just got to affirm. You can do it.
Go back to the information.
Yeah. Go back to the information. As soon as you catch a negative thought, snap it back. You know what I'm saying? Because those negative thoughts are going to come. It's just about reaffirming.
Are you into like vision boards and all of that?
I mean, I got a vision board. I do have a vision board, and I'm big on every year, talking about my goals. I'll talk about my goals just with my intermediate family. We'll just go over all of our goals that we want to hit. I'll probably hit about 70%. There's like one big one that I'm close on that I know I can still do, but it's just about putting those goals out there. I just know you can do it. How do you make
your own goal? Do you just write them out, or do you put pictures? Do you use
images? I used to do images. Right now, like on my vision board, it's just words of like what I want. But I think the pictures is good as well, so you visualize it. But necessarily like everything that I want on there isn't out there yet.
I see.
Well, it is out there yet. It just hasn't happened yet. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, I mean, if you see it in your mind, that's the first place you even need to see it. Yeah. Once you see it in your mind, I feel like then you can create it physically. Even if it's not been invented yet, the fact that you see it in your mind, I mean, same thing, the example you gave with airplanes. Yeah. They just knew like it's possible. We can fly. It's just somebody got to do it. So, and they ended up being the ones that did it for themselves. Who has been the most impactful person in your life?
Like throughout my entire tenure?
Throughout your entire life, and then we'll do business specifically.
Throughout my entire life, man, it's a couple of people. I would say, my dad, my grandfather, and my uncle. My uncle Tobias, yeah.
Why them?
From the start, just inputting that you're great into you, before you know yourself, and just putting that self-confidence into you. Because I think that's the biggest start when it comes for like anybody. I think a lot of people in life, they can succeed, but they don't believe in themselves. So, my dad and my grandparents, my grandfather and my uncle, they always made me believe in myself. And then I think that alone, once you believe in yourself, you can do anything in life. Because it's just like, I know I can do it. It doesn't matter because, you go through school, people doubt you all the time.
Yeah.
They try to, shit on you. They try to shit on you, right? But even when people try to shit on you, knowing that I'm that guy. Yeah, I'm that guy. Which is everything.
How do you differentiate? And we'll go back to the business, most impactful business person. But how do you differentiate, arrogance from being self-confident and believing in yourself?
Yeah. I think there needs to always be some arrogance. You don't always have to show it, but arrogance within yourself. Like, you know, for example, in real estate, like maybe somebody's doing more deals than you. Like, okay, I mean, you could be happy for them and, you know, all that, but in my head, I'm always like, I know I can do more deals than them. You know what I'm saying? Just always having that self-belief that you want to be the best.
No, I like that. Like, I feel like that's the most honest answer I've ever heard when I ask somebody about that, because everybody tries to come up with this big explanation on how arrogance and self-confidence is different. But I also feel like for you to be self-confident, there's this slight bit of arrogance. Of course, not doing it in a way to where it puts people off. So, last stop. Okay. Yeah. I feel like that's the most, honest answer I've heard. Like, you have to have that slight bit of arrogance within you to know that you can go out and compete with anybody on any ground and actually win, you know? I feel like every successful person has that to them. I mean, if you think about Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, like there's a slight bit of arrogance for them to even come up with these ideas that they come up with and be like, you know what, I'm actually going to do it. You know? So I feel like that's extremely necessary. So business-wise, who's been the most impactful person for you?
Yeah, I would say business-wise, probably my uncle. Has tremendous success in business, and two of my uncles, my godfather and my uncle, you know, very super successful business guys. So, learned a ton from them, just from learning how to operate and learning how to carry yourself. Yeah.
Nice, man. So it seems like, you know, the whole family have been kind of like supportive of your journey towards like entrepreneurship and everything.
Yeah. You know, I come from a family of entrepreneurs, you know. My grandfather was a serial entrepreneur, car dealerships, bars, record shops, you name it, probably did it. So, I feel like it's in my DNA to just take risks. I mean, you know, nothing against like, you know, not taking risks, but it's just like, if you want to live a life of your dreams, you know, you
gotta take risks.
You gotta take some risks,
Gotta bet on yourself sometimes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I feel like that's also very impactful, because a lot of entrepreneurs might come from family. Like for me, like my mom wasn't so welcoming of the idea to like quit school and say, oh, I want to do this full time. Yeah. Especially coming from a different like country and coming here, and then you're saying, oh, you're the special one that wants to go into entrepreneurship instead of going to school. It was hard to convince her and to sell her on the idea, but I feel like the results kind of sold her on the idea. Yeah. When she started saying like, oh wow, like, oh wait, you bought your first property? Like what? Yeah. So it started to kind of make sense. Like, oh, maybe school is not the only way. I mean, every so often she'll still call me and tell me, you're still gonna finish school, right? Yeah, when it's necessary, when it's time, and I have the time to.
10 years.
Yeah, like, but for now, that's not even in my outlook. There's a lot of other things that I want to achieve before I go about doing that. Yeah. So if you're very successful in real estate now, kudos to you, man. Congratulations on all your achievements so far, man. And I know many more is coming for you. With the way you're still aggressively going towards, because I feel like some people hit the high level and then they start coasting. Yeah. I feel like, you know, I'm there, you know, nobody's kicking me off my spot, but I still see you, like you said, going out there, doing meetups, meeting up with people. Like you said, you still have plans to expand the franchise and go to other things. Yeah. For people that are just getting started in entrepreneurship or trying to get started in real estate. Actually, she's trying to get started in real estate too. So what would you draw as the plan for them? How would you, now that you know, with all that you know, what would be those action plan that you draw for anybody trying to go?
I would say, start self-educating yourself. You know, there's guys that put out great information, you know, Jamil Damji, Brent Daniel, Space Morby, guys that I would all vet for. And then I would say, one, find a community, find other people that are in real estate that, you can connect with. Yeah. And then find guys that are in your city as well, and you know, find somebody else that's in the stage that you're at or where you want to go, and see if they can mentor you or try to connect with them some way.
No, I love that. I love that. That's a simply put, you know, self-education. Yeah. Then find mentors that you can look up to and really ask any question. And he gave really great examples. Those three, I feel like within the mentorship community of like real estate are the most go-givers. You know, they really 100%. Try to pour into their students, and it's not something you see all the time.
Yeah.
And then lastly, like you said, network. Once you start to surround yourself with people that are now thinking like you and doing things that you're doing,
Yeah.
that's what I feel like even impacts you way more, because sometimes you might not be able to always get in contact with your mentor, but
Yeah.
the other good thing that all of them create within their community is like they don't focus on them just being the leader of the community.
Yeah.
They build other leaders within that community. So it's like, okay, if I can't reach Pace,
Yeah.
I can go ask Manif, or I can go ask XYZ, or I can go ask Jamison
Yeah.
and ask them some information, and they'll be able to give you the play. They'll be able to guide you to the best of their knowledge. And if there's something that everybody can help you with, then you can go back to your mentors. And it's just like a full circle of people to surround yourself with. And that's going to accelerate you for growth. So,
Yeah.
we're rounding up now, but, what's your outlook on life? Next 5 years, what's the goal? Let's call it here, so I can come back here and be like, okay, shit, he did it.
Yeah, probably next 5 years, probably like 15 or 20 franchises and couple apartment buildings, couple developments, and yeah, maybe more. No, for sure more. So yeah.
I like that. Is that all within Cleveland, or
it depends. I mean, no, I like Cleveland. You know, some people don't. I do, man. I think it's a low buy-in, cash locale. So I think it's a great area to invest. So yeah,
definitely somewhere to also live.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have a very, very mixed feeling about Cleveland. I like it because it's like super low key.
Yeah.
And you can really have time to focus on yourself if you choose to.
Yeah.
But in other cities, like there's always a move, there's a function, there's something calling you out there. But I guess it also applies to yourself.
Yeah.
You can choose to just not go.
Yeah.
But would you say this is somewhere that you see yourself like staying, or you plan on like actually exploring other states to like live?
I probably keep a house here, and have some houses other places as well.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's a different answer. Why not? Shit. Why not just stay in each and every one of those places?
Yeah.
But man, I appreciate you coming on here, man. I don't see a lot of meetups. So if you are organizing some meetups here in Cleveland, man,
I'm throwing one next Monday.
Give people the plug. I mean, give me most especially the plug, because I love to be there.
Yeah. I don't have location yet. I'm still figuring out location. If you want to help me with that, that'd be great.
Awesome.
But yeah, so I'm throwing it next week.
Okay.
I already got 2 sponsors, so just gotta find a venue.
Just a venue.
Yeah.
Okay. What are you looking around? West side or east side?
That doesn't matter. I probably would rather have something neutral, like Independence.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Very easy for anybody that's on the east side or the west side to get to. And that's where my office is at anyway. So yeah. But if you got somewhere on the west side, that's cool too. Or like, you know, Tremont area up here. That's you know.
Yeah, I'll do some asking around too and see, and I'll shoot anything I come across over your way.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I can't wait for it. I think a lot more meetups and events need to be thrown in Cleveland.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that are actually doing real estate, but we don't just know each other.
Yeah.
And it's really hard. You have to like do some individual connection, but I've been to ATL, some sub 2 meetups out there, and they do that shit like every month. Back to back.
I'm gonna start throwing stuff more too, because I got title companies I do a ton of deals with that will fund it. So
yeah, perfect. I actually even spoke to Access Title. I spoke to them, and they're open to actually sponsoring too.
Yeah.
So I definitely would love to. Yeah, if we can cook up some stuff together, that would be awesome. I'd love to throw a couple more events.
Yeah, 100%, just to get people out.
Yeah.
Then that ultimately leads to, you know, more deals.
For sure.
For everybody.
So tell the people where they can find you.
Yeah.
If they got deals, how can they get it out to you? And if they're buyers, how can they connect with you to buy some deals from you? Yeah.
So my Instagram is itsjwill. That's ITSJWILL. And if you guys want to send me some deals, send it to deals. That's DEALS at KeyGleeMart.com. That's KEYGLEEMART.com.
Awesome.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Yeah, get in contact with my guy. And for the rest of everybody, man, you know where to follow me, Femi.Daniel_ on Instagram. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's Femi Daniel Show. Femi Daniel on YouTube, actually. Hit the subscribe button, leave a comment, leave a question, leave a like, whatever you want to leave. Just leave it there. Share this with anybody that you feel like this will be impactful for them. Yeah, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out. What you gotta say to yourself? Say to my audience. Oh yeah.
Like, comment, subscribe.
There you go.
I could never be YouTuber. I feel so awkward.
You should ever. Like, I don't know why I have it on my shit. Like, you don't, no help.
They stay in the back.
Yeah. At least, like, say some shit. Like, you're producing it.
Why not? You should.
It's my asshole producer, man. Freaking asshole. But, yeah. Peace out, guys. Smoking cigars like fucking Don Pablo in this bit. Let me not get hit anymore. Oh shit, no. Step back. Cool. I'm gonna need to record me too. So get on the other side because I need to talk to this one seller and I want to record that shit.
Of course, how we stay on mission won't slow us down, cause we way too driven, yet we put in these 10,000 hours.